Hey students and parents. I wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about how to read a clock because that is one of the things that second graders generally learn to do, and it's something that we did start in the classroom but definitely didn't finish, and most of the kids have really not mastered that skill. And it is a difficult skill. It's particularly difficult in today's world because it's just not a necessary skill. You can completely live your life and never learn to read a clock. You're pretty much going to be okay. But I still see a lot of value in it, and as I've told the kids, I think they'll be better off if they do learn it. So I have a strategy that I want to show you, and it is maybe a little childish in the sense that involves a little song and everything, but it works. I've used it for years, and the students who do it and stick with it quickly learn how to tell time, and then they don't have to do the song anymore. And it's really okay. I didn't have a classroom clock, so I'm borrowing this clock from my daughter. But it'll serve our purposes for today. You're going to have to find something. You can definitely order a clock. You can pull a clock off the wall and take the batteries out of it and spin the hands with it. You can draw something. There's a lot of options. If you need some guidance, please let me know. Obviously, there's infinity worksheets about clocks. I'm going to include a couple, but worksheets are rarely the best solution. But, it's something you can use. So let's take a closer look at exactly what I'm talking about. All right, so let's show you what I'm talking about. Here's a clock, and on a clock we have two hands. We've got, of course, the minute hand, which is longer, and the hour hand, which is shorter. So it's hard to remember which is which. And in fact, on many clocks, it's hard to even differentiate which is which. But the little song that I teach the kids is what the hour hand says. The hour hand is like the little brother. Do you guys remember this, students? The little brother always wants to go first, or maybe it's a little sister. Me first, me first. Whatever you do, say me first. So that's what we're going to do first. We're going to forget about the minute hand. We're just going to focus on the hour hand. Now, one of the other things that I have the students do is I always have them draw one of these rectangles and put this part in. Get ready to be successful. So, me first, whatever you do, say me first. And I've included in the Google Classroom a printout with these words that you can reference if you want to. So, if we look at where this minute hand is, he's kind of close to the 8, but he's also kind of close to the 9. And adults, as you know, this is one of the confusing things, is that the hour hand is almost always in between. So we have a little rhyme for that. If it's in between, go back. If it's in between, go back. If it's in between, if it's in between, if it's in between, go back. So we go back to the 8. And that's the number that we're going to write in here is an 8. Now, we're done with the hour hand. We're done with the little brother. Now we finally get to go on to the big brother, the big sister. Now, if you guys have a big sister, you remember that big sisters are always showing off. They're always trying to prove how cool they are and how smart they are. So they got to do everything the fancy way. What does the big hand say? It says, I'm cool, I'm really, really cool. I'm talking clock talk, and I'm counting by 5s. And that's what the big brother hand is going to do. 5, 10, 15. That clock says 8:15. If you use that strategy, you will be successful. Let's try another one. we're going to move this clock here. Here's a hard one. Here's a hard one, but let's try it. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw this box. Keep our numbers organized. You've heard me say this so many times. Keeping your numbers organized will prevent so many problems and help you in so many ways. So let's start with the little brother. I'm cool. Oops, that's the big brother. Let's start with the little brother. Me first. Me first. Whatever you do, say me first. So we're going to forget about that minute hand and just focus on that hour hand. Here's why this is a hard one. Students want to say, well, that's on the 11. The numbers are really too big, right? The numbers should really just be a dot. And if you would have that number just be a dot, you would see that we were not quite to the 11. We're almost to the 11, but we're not quite there yet. We're still in between the 10 and the 11. And when we're in between, go back. If you're in between, go back. If you're in between, if you're in between, if you're in between, go back. We go back to the 10. That hour hand is only on the 10. Now, we're finished with the hour hand. We wrote our number for the hours. Now we're going to talk about the minutes. So let's talk about the minutes. Big hand, big brother. I'm cool. I'm cool. I'm really, really cool. I'm talking clock talk, and I'm counting by fives. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. And this time is 10:45. If you use that strategy, I think you will find some success. All right, students. All right, parents. Hopefully that helps a little bit. I know it's a difficult skill to master, but use me as a resource. I'm here to help. Please let me know what I can do to assist you. I'm going to put some resources in there to help you find places to practice. But really, what it really comes down to, students, this is on you, is just take your time and do it. You guys know how to do it. It might take you a couple minutes. But the goal when you're reading a clock, or really when you're doing anything, but the goal when you're reading a clock is to figure it out and do it correctly. It's not to be fast. Telling the wrong time quickly doesn't really help anybody. So take your time. Think about the different parts. If you don't want to sing the songs out loud, that's okay. The singing of the song doesn't actually help you do anything, but it's the thinking about the meaning behind the song. Thinking about oh yeah, I've got to do that hour hand first. Let's do that first. And then thinking about, okay, I have to go back. And then thinking about that minute hand and how that minute hand goes by fives. If you take the time to go through it slowly and think about those different steps, you're going to be super successful. I know it. I've seen it a million times. I know you can do it. If you rush it, that's where you make the mistakes. So find yourself a clock. It can be something like this. It can be something online. It can be a paper worksheet. It can be a real clock hanging on the wall. And practice. That's your assignment for this week. Not to master this skill, because it's a difficult skill. I'm not expecting you to master this in a week. I want you to practice. So tell me about it. Let me know how you practiced. If you decided to do a worksheet and you want me to check it over for you, please send it on. I'm happy to do that. But you definitely do not have to do that worksheet. I just want you to find some way to practice. If you want to send me a video of you doing it with a fake clock like this, that's awesome. If you want to just write me a little description about what you did to practice, that's great too. Just let me know what you did, and I can't wait to hear about it. And I will see you again real soon.